John Beltran back at Sunset Baseball Field in Brush, where the Bead Diggers and Sterling Tigers about to throw the first pitch as we're set up along the left field line. Sound engineer and producer for this game is Rose Condis. And, we're going to take various angles to broadcast this game. And the first angle will be along left field, a little bit from a fan's perspective right here. We'll be here first inning, move on to the remainder of the game, and then get back to the normal post. All right, the starting lineup for the Sterling Tigers. Here in the top of the first inning against right-hander Kyle Rosenbrock. Batting first is the left fielder Ryan Boyer. Third baseman Brendan Diaz hits second. Jake Thiessen, the pitcher, will hit third. Batting fourth, the right fielder Ty Lucero. Jay Kyle, the center fielder, hits fifth. Daniel Bacon, the first baseman, hits sixth. Batting seventh, the DH Brent Gilliland. Eighth is Jesse McKnight, the catcher. Jason Wilson in right field will be batting ninth. Batsman is Mike Gutierrez. Tyler Monday at third. The shortstop Arnoldo Matos Garcia. The outfield Grayson Simmons in left. The center fielder is Nico Guzman. Oscar Soto. Behind the plate Alec Peterson. And on the mound is the ace Kyle Rosenbrock. Pitch today brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips and locations in Fort Morgan and Brush. They can help your home questions or needs. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. The opening hitter for Sterling will be Ryan Boyer. And Rosenbrock hasn't pitched too much this year, but that will change here over the last week of the season. Rosenbrock with a good fastball and a sharp breaking ball. To Ryan. No balls and one strike. And Rosenbrock fires. That fastball, strike two. All right, we'll move this around a little bit. No strike. It's apparently cutting out just a little bit. 0-2 to Ryan Boyer, and that pitch is a fastball down. Should be in better range right now. 1-2 to Ryan Boyer. Kyle Rosenbrock ready. And the pitch. And curveball called strike three, and there's one down. Rosenbrock records a strikeout on 4 pitches. And that'll bring up Brendan Diaz. And the pitch, swing and a miss. To the fastball right by Diaz. And it's 0-1. Rosenbrock with a mean fastball. Here's the wind and offering. Swung on. That is grounded on the left side. The shortstop, Matos Garcia, has it. Throws low to first, but dug out nicely by Tormolen. And there's 2 down. 2 down in the frame for Jacob Thiessen. Well, Rosenbrock doing the job so far. Jacob Thiessen, a big, strong right-handed hitter. The pitch, fastball, a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. The Bead Diggers lost to this team by a 9-1 count. Fastball, a strike, belt high. And the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm John Beltran, live from Sunset Baseball Field. 1-1. Swag and a miss with a fastball. Count is at 1-2 to Thiessen. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the opposing pitcher. The pitch. That is just low. Barely missed. Count is level at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The base is empty. And the offering swung on and grounded left side. The third baseman, Monday, has got it. He sets, he throws high, and the tag is applied, but it's off of Tormolen's glove, and Thiessen is safe. And that will be an error on the third baseman, Monday, on the errant throw. So he reaches on the air by Monday. Here's Ty Lucero, another right-handed hitter. Rosenbrock back on the hill. The set, short lead at first, and the offering. Fastball in the dirt. Yeah, we got a courtesy runner out there. We'll see if we can get that name. For Sterling. 1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs and 1 on in the top of the first inning. The stretch by Rosenbrock. The pitch. Fastball is up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Off of first is James Skurjanek. The stretch, the offering, and the fastball is low. 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes. Skurjanek with the lead. And the offering. That fastball's a strike. Belt high in the inner half, and it's 3-1. Yeah, we're just to the right of the Bee Digger dugout. This spot, 3 balls, 1 strike with 2 down. Rosenbrock stretches. And the pitch. Swung on. That ball's chopped to first. Tormolen's got it. Steps to the bag. And the inning is over. No runs in that inning. No hits. There was 1 error and a man left. We'll keep it right here as we'll head to the bottom of the first inning. Bee Digger starting lineup brought to you by Blodorn Lumber at blodornlumber.com. You can browse the virtual showroom, view the current sales flyer, complete a credit application, and shop the entire inventory online. Doesn't matter if you're a contractor or painting your kitchen at Blodorn Lumber, you'll get the same friendly service and advice to make your job easier. Friendly place, serious service at Blodorn Lumber. All right, we'll get to the Bee Digger starting lineup as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Batting first will be the catcher, Alec Peterson. The shortstop, Arnoldo Matos Garcia, hits second. Batting third, the pitcher, Kyle Rosenbrock. The fourth hitter is the first baseman, Mitch Tormolen. Batting fifth for the Bee Diggers is the DH, Ryan Hirschfeld. Sixth is the third baseman, Tyler Monday. It'll be Oscar Soto, the right fielder, batting seventh. Mike Gutierrez, the second baseman, hits eighth. And the left fielder, Grayson Simmons, will be hitting ninth. Now for Sterling defensively. Daniel Bacon's at first, Tyson Wilson at second. The third baseman is Brendan Diaz. Ethan Rose at short. Around the outfield, Ryan Boyer in left, Jay Kyle in center, Ty Lucero in right, Jessic McKnight behind the plate, and the right-hander Jacob Thiessen, who tossed a one-hitter against the Bee Diggers back on March the 8th, will be on the mound. The Bee Diggers did struggle with Adam Tully in the opening game, but finally got to him for 2 runs in the 5th and 6th innings, both on home runs from Rosenbrock. Yeah, these are 2 right-handers that can bring it. I mean, we should have a pitcher's duel. As you are listening to 1010 KSRR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Greeley, on a gorgeous day at Sunset Baseball Field as we head to the bottom of the first inning. And Alec Peterson is stepping in for Brush.
Leading off for the Diggers at the bottom of the first inning, pitcher number 8, Alec Peterson.
Yeah, Peterson. Let's see, we'll check out what he did earlier today. In the first game, he was 0 for 2 against Tully. And the pitch by Thiessen. Fastball, a strike, belt high. No balls and 1 strike. And the wind and pitch. Fastball, strike 2, just above the knees. Yeah, all we're seeing here by Rosenbrock and Thiessen is some major smoke. No balls and 2 strikes. And Peterson awaits the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Letter high. And there's 1 down. That'll bring up Arnoldo Matos Garcia. He ran very well in game one. Ended up scoring on the 2-run homer, the first by Rosenbrock. The pitch, and the breaking ball is in there for a strike on the inner half. It's 0-1. Yeah, this game could go about an hour and 20 minutes. The wind and the 0-1. Fastball right there for a strike. Bell tie, and it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Arnoldo Matos Garcia. Here's the wind and pitch. Fastball that is just a little bit outside. And the count is at 1-2. Thiessen ready. And the 1-2 offering. Called strike 3. Fastball on the inner half at the knees. And there's 2 down. There's Kyle Rosenbrock. We know what he did in game one. He had 3 hits and 4 RBIs, including 2 2-run homers. The wind by Thiessen, the pitch. Fastball at the knees for a strike. Yeah, Thiessen looks in total control here in the first inning. Here's the wind and the 0-1 offering. Fastball swung on and missed. That was well above the letters. And it's 0-2. You got to start your swing so early against Thiessen. Now, Adam Tully did strike out the side for Estes Park in the second inning. Thiessen's 1 pitch away. The offering swung on and fouled off to the right and out of play. Count remains at 0-2 to Kyle Rosenbrock in the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Bee Diggers and Sterling Tigers from Brush. Wind and pitch. Swung on, fouled off again to the right on a late swing. Count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. Thiessen, the hard-throwing right-hander for Sterling. Delivers the pitch low with a fastball. Ball 1, strike 2 to the Bee Digger pitcher, Kyle Rosenbrock. With 2 down and the bases empty in the first. The pitch, curveball, check swing foul towards the Sterling dugout. At 502 Ensign in Fort Morgan, B&B Appliance can help you save water, energy, and the environment without sacrificing quality and performance. Change for the better, B&B Appliance. 1-2 pitch. That is outside with a fastball.
Hey, there you go. Had a fight, kid.
Count is level at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Bee Digger right-hander. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on, fouled straight back. Went with a fastball again. And upcoming is the 9th pitch of the at-bat to Rosenbrock. Trying to work this right-hander into throwing a lot of pitches in the first inning, maybe wear him down by about the 5th or 6th. The wind and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and that's going to drift out of play. Count remains at 2-2. Well, this will be at least a 10-pitch at-bat for Rosenbrock. Boy, the Bee Diggers can work this pitcher over. They can get him out of the game early and go to the bullpen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The base is empty. No score in the bottom of the first inning in Brush. Here's the wind and pitch, and that's in the dirt. Well, this is going to turn into at least an 11-pitch at-bat. Yeah, Thiessen has thrown 17 pitches in the inning, 11 of those to Rosenbrock, or 10 of those to Rosenbrock, and here comes number 11 on a 3-ball, 2-strike pitch with Mitch Tormolen on deck. Thiessen winds. And the offering, swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop, Diaz, to his left, and he picks it up. He'll have no throw. The ball was hit so slowly. Check that. That's Ethan Rose. It'll be an infield hit. Ball hit very slowly by Rosenbrock. So Rose charged, but if he comes up with that cleanly, he doesn't have him. So we'll score that a base hit. Mitch Tormolen now the hitter. He had an RBI triple against Estes Park. Yeah, Diaz over at third. 1-step lead for Rosenbrock at first. And the pitch. Fastball is lifted into right field. Going back is Ty Lucero. Now he spins over to his left. He's under it, makes the catch. And the inning is over. No runs, an infield hit, no errors, and a man left as we'll head to the second inning. Brush nothing, Sterling nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back in Brush as we head to the second inning. And the Bee Diggers are holding a 2. Check that. Wish it was a 2-0 lead. Second inning, no score. I think I'm going back to another game played earlier this year. Kyle Rosenbrock here against Jacob Thiessen, a battle of the hard-throwing right-handers. And both right-handers allowed a base runner in the opening frame. Going to move up slightly here for the second inning. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up for Sterling against Rosenbrock. It'll be Jay Kyle, Daniel Bacon, and Brent Gilliland. Jay Kyle was a member of that basketball team that went to the 8-team state tournament. So Kyle steps in against Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock of the opening inning threw 16 pitches, 10 for strikes. Here's the wind by the right-hander and the pitch, and the fastball bounces into the screen. 1 ball and no strikes to Jay Kyle, the center fielder. Friendly staff at High Plains Bank in Wiggins can assist you with a home loan, equity line of credit, commercial loan, or checking account. To receive hometown service in a higher plane, visit High Plains Bank in Wiggins. The pitch, swing and a miss with a fastball. And the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike to Jay Kyle. Rosenbrock gets the sign from Peterson. And the offering. Strike 2 with a fastball, belt high. And the count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the opening hitter of the second inning, Jay Kyle for Sterling. No score. In brush. Wind and pitch. Swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop, Matos Garcia, to his left, drops the ball, picks it up, throws late. Oh, a very routine grounder. And now the B-Diggers, let me tell you, the B-Diggers are struggling defensively so far. That's the second error committed in this game. And a very routine play to Matos Garcia, but he couldn't come up with it. So the leadoff man is on for Sterling. This game with 2 good right-handers could boil down to mistakes. There's Daniel Bacon hitting for the right side. The stretch. Rosenbrock delivers, squaring to bunt, and he bunts it up the first base side. Rosenbrock fields. Now he's going to toss to first with Tormolin covering. I think he was waiting for somebody to cover second, but didn't happen in time. It'll be a sacrifice, 1-3. And there's 1 down. Here is Brent Gilliland, another right-handed hitter for Sterling. Rosenbrock stretches. With Kyle at second, the pitch swung on and foul back. No balls and 1 strike. John Beltran with you in the top of the second inning from Brush. Along the third baseline, a little different perspective today. Rosenbrock looks back to pitch. Swing and a miss on a curveball that was diving out of the zone. Yeah, that thing was several inches outside, but Gilliland went fishing. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on in the second. Rosenbrock looks back, looks in. And the 0-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Petey. It is 1-2 to the right-handed hitting Brent Gilliland. The 7th hitter in this lineup with Jesse McKnight on deck. The pitch swung on and grounded down the third baseline, foul. Count remains at 1-2 with 1 out and 1 on in the second. Rosenbrock getting back on the hill. Looks in for the sign. And the 1-2 pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. Peterson drops the ball, looks back at second, throws to first. Runner headed to third. Kyle will be in there. The out is recorded. And there's 2 down. So that actually benefited Sterling a little bit. But it's 2 down for Jesse McKnight from the right side, the Sterling catcher. And the B-Digger defense has got to come to play here the rest of the game. A couple of errors in the first 2 innings. The stretch and pitch. Fastball, a strike, belt high, down the middle. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Stretch by Rosenbrock. And the pitch. And he bounces it in there. Nice block by Peterson. That saved a run. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East at 1209 Main Street in Fort Morgan will professionally fit you into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East, where the used car superstore 6-day super sale is ongoing through Tuesday. The pitch. Fastball is just a little bit low. Boy, that was a nice frame job by Alec Peterson, but it was called a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 down, a man at third. We're in the top of the second inning. No score in Brush between the Bee Diggers and Sterling Tigers. Rosenbrock stretches. Rosenbrock pitches. Swung on, fouled off to the right and out of play. Yeah, the winner of this game will be in second place in the Patriot League by themselves. Of course, the Eaton Reds control this league. They've been doing so for years. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the right. Count remains at 2-2. The runner at third is Jay Kyle. Alec Peterson lays down the sign. The stretch by Rosenbrock. And the offering. Breaking ball is in the dirt. Blocked again by Peterson. 3-2. The 9th place hitter Tyson Wilson is on deck. 3-2 to Jesse McKnight. Rosenbrock stretches. Rosenbrock delivers. Swung on, line to right field. That's a base hit. Kyle will score on the RBI single for McKnight. And Sterling leads 1-0 in the top of the second inning. And keep in mind that's an unearned run allowed by Rosenbrock because of the error committed by Matos Garcia to begin the inning. Here's Tyson Wilson, the second baseman. And they played small ball, the little things. Bee Diggers made 2 mistakes there. The drop third strike preceded by the error, and Sterling, a very good baseball team, made Brush play, or pay, I should say. Now the Bee Diggers got to make them pay back the rest of the game. Wilson, the right-handed hitting second baseman. Stretched by Rosenbrock, short lead at first. The pitch, fastball, a strike. Knee high, it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on and popped up on the right side. The first baseman, Tor Mullen, has no play. It's out of play. And the count goes to 0-2 to Tyson Wilson. Rosenbrock gets the sign from Peterson. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on and grounded up the middle. Headed for center field, but the shortstop, Matos Garcia, has it. Steps on the bag for the out, and the inning is over. 1 run on 1 hit. There was a Bee Digger error. And 1 man left. We'll keep it right here as we will head to the bottom of the second inning. And Sterling holding a 1-0 lead. And the Bee Diggers in this frame will send up the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Ryan Hirschfeld, Tyler Monday, and Oscar Soto. And again, boy, you hope that 1 unearned run does not hold up. And we saw that earlier this year with a Fort Morgan game a couple of Fridays ago. It was an earned run, and Fort Morgan benefited. They beat Elizabeth 1-0 on the road. And Jacob Thiessen just looking very solid in that first inning with a couple of strikeouts. Let's check out what Hirschfeld did in game 1. He was very solid on the hill. 2 innings in relief. He mowed down Estes Park. In the opening game today, Hirschfeld was 0 for 2. 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. And that strikeout was a pitch that was 6 inches off the plate, but nonetheless he was called out. So the right-handed hitting junior DH steps in. The pitch, fastball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Hirschfeld. Jacob Thiessen gets the sign, the pitch. Fastball, a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. You don't have to travel out of town to receive the best and most advanced hearing health care. Platte Valley Hearing Center, 409 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. The pitch, and that breaking ball up and in. Didn't really break. Ball 2, strike 1. Jesse McKnight's RBI single has given Sterling a 1-0 lead. The pitch swung on. That ball is driven deep into left center field. That's going to find a gap for a base hit, and the ball gets all the way towards the fence, but Hirschfeld is going to hold up at first base. So it's a long single for Hirschfeld. I mean, he hit that a long way. I know I might have exaggerated that, but he did hit it a long way. But the ball died out there, and Hirschfeld had a hamstring issue earlier this season. So he holds up at first. Tyler Monday's now the hitter. Wow, very good at bat for Hirschfeld. Yeah, the grass is, boy, it looks as good as it's ever been. Nice and green, but it might have been a little bit thick out there. It held the ball up a little bit. Hirschfeld could not get to second. The stretch. Tyler Monday awaits the pitch, but throw to first. Hirschfeld back in standing. So Sterling had the leadoff man on. They scored. Let's see the Bee Diggers can counter. The pitch, fastball, a strike. Right above the knees, it's 0-1. To Tyler Monday, the senior third baseman. Hirschfeld with a 2-step advantage. Stretch by Thiessen. Long pause in the pitch. Swung on, that's grounded weakly toward short. Rose is going to charge. He'll flip to second for 1. Throw to first is going to be late. Yeah, Sterling wanted the double play, but that was definitely late. Fielder's choice goes 6-4. 1 down. That'll bring up the left-handed hitting Oscar Soto. Soto in the first game had one very good at bat, advancing a runner to third. Stretch and pitch. Swing and foul tipped into the glove of McKnight. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Monday at first, bottom of the second inning. 1-0 Sterling with 1 out, 1 on. The pitch. Swung on and lifted foul, out of play off to the left. And it is 0-2.
Into the backyard.
Yeah. People here either praying it doesn't hit their car or it hits somebody else's car. No balls and 2 strikes. The stretch by Thiessen. And the offering. Fastball is up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit is the gold standard in ag lending. Short lead for Monday. 1-2. Swung on, line to center field, and that ball is going to be over the head of the center fielder, Kyle. He came in a couple of steps, headed towards the fence. Monday's around second. Monday will go to third. He'll be held up right there. That's a double for Oscar Soto. And the Bee Diggers have runners in scoring position. There's Mikey Gutierrez, but quite frankly, Kyle had no idea how to play that ball in center. He came in, he stopped, he jumped, and he didn't have it. So Gutierrez steps in. Gutierrez trying to atone to what happened to him in Game 1. He committed an error and struck out 3 times. So this is his moment right now to forget about all that against Estes Park. Wind and pitch. Fouled straight back, challenged him with a fastball. Count is at 0-1. The infield is playing in. They know that Rosenrock can deal. And with Sterling up 1-0 and 2 on, they're not taking any chances. Here's the wind and pitch. Curveball right there, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Gutierrez. At third is Monday. At second is Soto. Wind and pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 1-2 to the sophomore second baseman. Boy, he's up in that box. Really up in that box. Makes it harder to hit the fastball. The breaking ball's in the dirt. 2-2. Yeah, when you got a guy throwing heat, you want to go as far back in the box as possible. But that left foot is well out in front. A wide stance. 2-2 pitch. Up and in with a fastball. Well, this is a quality plate appearance here for Mike Gutierrez. On deck is Grayson Simmons. Second and third, one out. Bottom of the second inning in Brush. Sterling 1, Brush nothing on a Jesse McKnight RBI single. And the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and foul back. Well, I tell you what, this Bee Digger dugout is alive. 3-2. It remains to Gutierrez. Monday at third, Soto at second. And so far, Thiessen has thrown 35 pitches, so the Bee Diggers are using him up a bit. The pitch swung on, fouled off to the right. It remains at 3-2. A critical Patriot League contest. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wind and pitch. That is upstairs, and Gutierrez walks. And the bases are loaded for Grayson Simmons. Well, this is a huge point in the game. Can the Bee Diggers at least tie it, if not take the lead? The 9-1 hitters coming up, and both are sophomores. Righty against lefty. The pitch, swing and a miss. Boy, he was way late on that one. He's got to start his swing much earlier. If not, he's never hitting that ball. He's got to swing very early here. No balls and 1 strike. Wind and pitch upstairs. Count is leveled at 1-1. Just got word Fort Morgan's Ryan Jensen drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. And the offering. Outside with a fastball. 2-1. Well, Simmons got to look for his pitch right now. He's ahead in the count. 2 balls, 1 strike. The bases loaded, 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Trailing 1-0. The pitch. Strike. Check swing, but it was in there on the outer half. 2-2. Monday at third, Soto at second. Gutierrez at first. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He blew the fastball right by him. There's 2 down. Strikeout number 3 for Jacob Thiessen. Alec Peterson struck out on 3 pitches in the opening frame. Well, the Bee Diggers don't want to waste this opportunity. This is a tough one right here. Thiessen out of the windup with the bases loaded. Pitch to Peterson. Inside with a fastball. It's 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. The sophomore right-hander digs in. Awaits the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Again, a late swing. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Peterson knows he's got to crank a little bit earlier. And the 1-1 offering. Outside corner, strike 2 with a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The bases are full of Bee Diggers. And time is called. The count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Bee Diggers have a couple of hits in this inning. A single by Hirschfeld, a double by Oscar Soto, but nobody has scored as of yet. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the bases loaded. And the pitch swung on and driven into left field to his left, ranging under it and making the catch for the final out of the second inning is Ryan Boyer, and the inning is history. No runs on 2 hits. No errors, and the bases were left loaded. It's a 1-minute break with a score after 2. Sterling 1, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, we head to the third inning. Bee Diggers holding a 1-0 lead over the Sterling Tigers. Check that, the Tigers hold a 1-0 lead. I'm talking fanatically here instead of realistically. As we head to the third, I'm going to get my buddy here, Kevin Ferguson. I'm going to set up here for the third inning, working my way closer towards where I normally set up. Well, yeah, I thought I had the lucky spot there in the second inning, but the Bee Diggers were held scoreless, so now here we go to the third. It'll be Ryan Boyer, Brendan Diaz, and Jacob Thiessen, top of the order. against the right-hander Rosenbrock, who allowed an unearned run, as the Bead Diggers have still not played consistent defense, committing 2 errors, and one of those led to the run. Brush had the bases loaded and 1 out, but a strikeout and a pop-up ended the threat. Ryan Boyer struck out looking in his first at-bat, as the left fielder, who just put away the final out of the bottom of the second inning, will step inside the batter's box against Rosenbrock. Again, the Bead Diggers defeated Estes Park earlier today, 6-3, and then Sterling beat Estes 20-0. The right-hander Rosenbrock delivers. Fastball is popped up on the bunt and fouled up the third base side. No balls and 1 strike to Ryan Boyer. You don't have to close on your house alone. Northern Colorado Title at 130 West Kiowa in Fort Morgan will provide you with a stress-free closing. Northern Colorado Title. Wind and pitch. Strike with a fastball just above the knees, and the count is at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to the opening hitter of the third inning, Ryan Boyer, the right-handed hitter for Sterling. And the offering. Swing! And a miss on a fastball. Right at around the ankles, there's 1 down. Second time that Boyer struck out in the game.
Now batting third baseman, number 16, Brendan Diaz.
Here's Brendan Diaz, the third baseman who grounded to the Bead Digger shortstop, Matos Garcia, in the opening frame. The wind by Rosenbrock and the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Both of these teams have 3 wins in Patriot League play. Bead Diggers are 3-1. The Tigers 3-2. The offering swung on and grounded weakly right back to Rosenbrock to his left, and he overhands to first for the out. And there's 2 down.
Pitcher, number 15, Jacob Thiessen.
Jacob Thiessen, the opposing pitcher. He reached on an error in the first inning, did not score. He's up with 2 out and nobody on. Rosenbrock ready, the wind, the pitch. Swung on, tapped up the third baseline. Monday's going to have to charge. He gloves, he throws in the run. That will be in time to retire Thiessen. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Rosenbrock. And let me tell you, a very nice stretch by Mitch Tormolin. If Tormolin is a fraction of an inch shorter, or that left arm, he might have come off the bag. But it's a 1-2-3 inning. The Bead Diggers will send the heart of the order here in the bottom of the third, trailing Sterling 1-0. It'll be Matos Garcia, Rosenbrock, and Tormolin. So far in this game, 1 run on 1 hit for Sterling, no errors. They've left 2 on base. The Bead Diggers, no runs on 3 hits, but 2 errors. And they have stranded 4 so far, including the bases loaded in the bottom of the third inning. So as we begin the bottom of the third, don't let finances stand in your way of pursuing your college education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. It'll get you on the right track and find out what options are available to help you. No matter what age you are at MCC, you can imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goal at Morgan Community College as we hit the bottom of the third. And here comes Matos Garcia. Matos Garcia struck out looking in his first at bat. Now, so far, Thiessen has thrown 46 pitches, and 32 of those for strikes. Jacob Thiessen, the right-hander, delivers to Matos. Up and in with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes to Matos Garcia. Here's the wind, 1-0 offering. Fastball up and in again. Well, ideally, if you can get Thiessen to maybe about 100 pitches by the 5th inning, you got a shot to get him out there, or out of there, I should say. 2-0 pitch. Fastball, a strike at the knees. And it is 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike to the Bee Diggers shortstop. Wind by Thiessen, the pitch. Swung on line into left field for a base hit down the line. Matos Garcia's around first. He's going to hold up there with a single. And the Bee Diggers have their 4th hit of the game. And now you've got Kyle Rosenbrock up at the plate. Well, the Bee Diggers have their leadoff man on for the 2nd straight inning. And Kevin Fergus told me many times, you get that leadoff guy on, he usually scores. Let's see. There you go. Let's see if we can get Rosenbrock to move him over at the very least. Rosenbrock with the infield hit in the 1st inning. Brush trails 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd with nobody out. Stretched by Thiessen, the pitch. Swung on and chopped slowly down the 3rd base line, and that ball is fair. Long throw to first is going to be high and offline, and the ball's up against the side of the fence. Rosenbrock is headed to 2nd. 2nd and 3rd. Well, I got to tell you right now, I'm going to call that a single and an error. That was a tough throw on a chopper.
Yeah, with his speed, he would have beat that out.
And Kevin Fergus agrees with me, and he's the authority here. So that's the first error. Here's Mitch Tormolen. And I thought it was Pastor Mundy who gets the autographs. Anyway, there's Tormolen, the pitch. Swung on line and caught by the 2nd baseman and doubled up as Rosenbrock. Oh, holy Mahungus. Wilson with a catch to his right. And there's 2 down on the line drive hit by Tormolen. Oh, the Bee Diggers just running into some terrible luck there. Nothing you could do there. Rosenbrock didn't make a mistake. That's just bad luck. Here's Hirschfeld. Wow. Now you're wondering if how much Irish is on this team for Sterling, because that's a lot of luck right there. Here's the pitch. Swinging and missing a breaking ball in the dirt. No balls and 1 strike. I mean, nothing but solid swings by the Bee Diggers. But they're still looking for their first run. No balls and 1 strike. The offering. Swung on and fouled off the catcher's mask to the screen. Boy, this inning looked like it was going to be a couple of runs. All of a sudden, you go from 2 on and nobody out to 1 on and 2 down and 2 strikes to the DH who singled in his first at bat. At 3rd is Matos Garcia. Out of the windup is Thiessen. Ahead in the count. And the offering. Curveball is laced towards left field down the line. It's going to drop for a base hit. Matos Garcia will score. And the Bee Diggers have tied the game at 1. Oh, certainly. That looked like I got to tell you, that looked like a huge mistake pitch there. 0-2, a hanging curveball. And here's Tyler Monday, who hit into a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning. The pitch swung on, fouled off to the right. Now, I must be doing really well today, because if Clyde Freehoff agrees with me on something, then I'm really good here. No balls, 1 strike, 1 in, 2 down, a man at first. A pitcher's duel between Jacob Thiessen of Sterling and Kyle Rosenbrock of Brush. The Bee Diggers, though, have come up with 5 hits in the game. The pitch swung on, chopped down the 3rd baseline. Diaz with a long throw to first. That is right there for the out. And the inning is over. However, the Bee Diggers certainly hit the baseball very well in that bottom of the 3rd inning as they come up with a run. The Bee Diggers on 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. We'll head to the 4th inning after the break. Brush 1, Sterling 1 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back at Sunset Baseball Field in Brush. Bee Diggers and Tigers tied at 1. Now Mark and Brian are going to have to put up with me for 1 inning here. My wife's put up with me for 13 years, so what you guys can last for 1 inning. As we head to the 4th inning, Bee Diggers tied the game on Ryan Hirschfeld's RBI single. It'll be Ty Lucero, Jay Kyle, and Daniel Bacon against Rosenbrock. Lucero grounded to first to end the 1st. So far, 1 run on 6 hits for Brush, 2 errors, and 5 left on base. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and the Tigers have stranded 2. Lucero officially at 0 for 1 in the game. There's the wind and pitch. Fastball is chopped slowly down the third base line. Monday's going to have to charge. He gloves, he throws on the run high, and that ball's up against the side of the fence. And headed to second is Lucero. And that will be an infield hit and an error on Monday. His second of the game. And just like that, Sterling is threatening to reclaim the lead. Jay Kyle reached on an error. Back in the second inning. Kyle ended up scoring the lone run for Sterling. Here's the stretch. Step off by Rosenbrock. Yeah, well, the way the B-Diggers are swinging the bat, it feels like they're dominating the game. Out hitting Sterling now 6-2, but 3 errors for the B-Diggers have got him in trouble. Kyle squaring to bunt. Now he fakes that, and the pitch is in the dirt, and Peterson is able to keep it underneath him. 1 ball and no strikes. B-Diggers back in action coming up on Monday at home against Resurrection Christian, Tuesday on the road against Lions. The stretch, and the 1-0. Fastball is high. 2-0 to Jay Kyle, the Sterling center fielder. Off of second is Lucero. Stretch and the 2-0 pitch. Fastball low. 3-0. Well, the only good thing here is that we're getting towards the bottom of the order, even though Jesse McKnight did deliver an RBI single, and he's the 8th place hitter. It's a pretty deep lineup for Sterling, as is the case with the B-Diggers. 3-0 right there. Fastball just below belt level at strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Rosenbrock looks in. Peterson lays down the sign. And the 3-1 pitch to be made. Breaking ball, strike 2 at the knees. 3-2 to Jay Kyle, the center fielder. Stretched by Rosenbrock. And the pitch, runner going. It's a strike to throw to third and a hop, and Monday's got to block it and keep it underneath him. That'll be a stolen base, a strikeout of Jay Kyle. There is 1 down. Well, that almost worked like a sacrifice, considering that he still took off for third. Daniel Bacon had the sacrifice bunt in his first plate appearance, so no official at-bats as of yet. And the B-Diggers are going to play the infield in on the corners and back in the middle. Stretched by Rosenbrock. And the pitch squaring to bunt, and he misses it, but it was a safety squeeze, so nothing doing. Lucero back at third base. It's 0-1. Well, that's too bad. Had he been coming home, he would have been a dead duck. No balls and 1 strike. 4 strikeouts for Rosenbrock after fanning Kyle. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung on and hit slowly on the ground towards the first baseman. Coming home but throwing it away is Rosenbrock. Lost the grip on the baseball. And the run scores. Well, that's just a fielder's choice. No error. He would have never nailed him at the plate. There was no play there. So a fielder's choice. And again, no error on Rosenbrock. There was no chance. He was throwing off balance. It is an RBI for Gilliland. And it's now a 2-1 Sterling lead. Yeah, had he pulled off that throw perfectly, that would have been semi-miraculous. His body had all the momentum towards first base, and he spun around. And because the hitter did not advance, it's simply a fielder's choice. Bacon is at first, and here's Brent Gilliland, who struck out. The pitch swung on and lifted towards center field. Nico Guzman is coming. That ball is going to be caught by Maltos Garcia. Throw back to first, and that ball is thrown wildly up against the side of the fence. But a great catch by Maltos Garcia, as racing back to first was Bacon. That was hit in no man's land, but the shortstop, the freshman, flagged it down. There's 2 down. Here's Jesse McKnight, who had the RBI single. And I don't know if the center fielders are having trouble judging the ball, because Oscar Soto hit a line drive that Jay Kyle had no idea what to do with. And then that time, Guzman got a late jump. Pretty late. I don't know if he could have got to that ball with a better jump, but obviously Maltos Garcia was able to make an incredible play. McKnight at 1-for-1. A short lead at first for Bacon. Time is called. Stubbs Gas and Oil at I-76 and Highway 39 in Wiggins. Don't delay and get there to see why convenience is Stubbs' middle name. Stubbs Gas and Oil. And the pitch swung on line off of Rosenbrock's glove towards the shortstop, Maltos Garcia, and the ball's going to be a base hit. Second baseman Gutierrez tried to pick it up. It'll be a base hit. And Jesse McKnight he's been reading that Rosenbrock fastball because he's 2 for 2. First and second now. It's Tyson Wilson who grounded into a fielder's choice. Let's see. Well, we got a couple of courtesy runners out there now. Matthew Wheeler out at first base for McKnight. And let's see, at second. Let's see if we can spot that runner out there. Yeah, I have no idea who's at second base. That's Evan Wisdom out there at second. So Wisdom at second, Wheeler at first. 2 down, 2 on, and 1 in on the fielder's choice hit by Daniel Bacon. The stretch, Tyson Wilson awaits the pitch. Fastball is fouled off the face mask of Alec Peterson. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Rosenbrock's been throwing strikes all over the place. 39 strikes, 15 balls so far through 3 2/3. Looking back, and the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. Check swing there, but it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. The runners take their leads. Wisdom and Wheeler at second and first respectively. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and fouled off of Peterson. And the count remains at 0-2. Rush's local Napa and Hardware Hanks Small Engine Repair Shop. Hometown Auto and Hardware at 1305 Edison Street. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. The stretch, the pitch. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. Peterson applies the tag. And the inning is over. However, a run does score for Sterling. They get the run on 2 hits, a B-Digger error, and 2 men left. We'll keep it right here as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. And the B-Diggers trail the game by a score of 2-1. And against Jacob Thiessen, they'll send up the bottom of the lineup in Oscar Soto, Mike Gutierrez, and Grayson Simmons. Soto did continue a rally 1 inning ago with a double. And now they got to keep this thing going as they are down 2-1 in the game. Let the State Farm Insurance Office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. All right, so we'll hit the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be the left-handed hitting right fielder, Oscar Soto. Well, with the way Thiessen came out in the 1st inning, he looked fairly unhittable, but B-Diggers have put together 6 hits, and many of them hit extremely hard. All right, so here's Soto. Soto's double sailed over the head of the center fielder, Jay Kyle. 2-1 Sterling in the bottom of the 4th at Sunset Baseball Field on a gorgeous Saturday in Brush. Popped up and out of play off to the left. Count is at no balls and 1 strike. Laying down the sign is McKnight. Wind and pitch. Swing and a miss, and a ball down and away. Took a ton off it, and Soto took a swing at what he thought was a fastball. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swing and a miss. On 3 pitches, Thiessen strikes out Soto on a pitch down and in. There's 1 down.
Now batting second baseman, number 16, Mikey Gutierrez.
Gutierrez walked in his first plate appearance. He will now bat for the Bee Diggers in the bottom of the 4th. Wind and pitch. Fastball is down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Thiessen has recorded now 4 strikeouts in the game. And the 1-0. Fastball, a strike at the knees. On the outer half, the count is level at 1-1. Thiessen also finding the strike zone. 45 strikes, 17 balls through 62 pitches. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The base is empty. The pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 2-1. We saw a lot of change-ups in the opening game against Estes Park. This is a lot more heat right now. 2-1. Upstairs again. 3-1. Grayson Simmons on deck. 3 balls and 1 strike to Mike Gutierrez. Here is the wind and pitch. Swung on, foul back. Took something off of that one. It's 3-2. Well, no. Well, you got to learn. A lot of foul balls go straight back. Here is the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball up and in. There's 2 down. As Gutierrez strikes out. Grayson Simmons struck out swinging in his first plate appearance. With 2 out and the base is empty. Wind and pitch. Swing and foul tipped into McKnight's glove. It's 0-1. Straight up heat by Jacob Thiessen. The Bee Diggers trailing 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning at home. Wind and the 0-1 pitch. Up and in with a fastball. The count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Rosenbrock has given up 2 runs, but only 1 earned. The pitch. Fastball is up and away. Ball 2, strike 1 to the sophomore left fielder Simmons. Two and one. A little conversation at home plate. I'm not sure what that was about between umpire and catcher, but anyway, here's the 4th pitch of the at-bat to Simmons. Swung on and fouled back. Challenged him right down the heart of the plate, and the count is level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 to Grayson Simmons with the bases empty and 2 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. We played exactly 1 hour of baseball in this finale of the triple header. And some quality pitching on both sides. The defenses, though, not as sharp. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and Thiessen strikes out the side in order. All right, we played 4 innings. We'll go to the 5th after the break. It's Sterling 2, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the top of the 5th inning where the Bee Diggers are trailing the Sterling Tigers by a score of 2-1. Work away again up the 3rd baseline. Kyle Rosenbrock beginning his 5th inning of work. And we might settle back in the shade. As Brush trailing 2-1. We'll settle right here. 2-1 as we go to the 5th inning. So here we go with the Bee Diggers trailing 2-1. A run in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th. Here for Sterling. Ryan Boyer will lead off. Boyer has struck out twice against the right-hander Rosenbrock. Here's the wind and pitch. Swing, and a miss on a fastball. Let her high. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Ryan Boyer. And the offering. Fastball low and away. The count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to the opening hitter of the 5th inning. The B-Diggers trail the Tigers of Sterling 2-1. And the pitch. Breaking ball is down and away. Ball 2, strike 1. Here is the wind and the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball at the letters. 2-2. The B-Diggers are out hitting Sterling, but they're trailing. Here in the 5th. The wind and offering. Called strike 3, a fastball in the outer half just below belt level. 3rd time that Boyer struck out. There's 1 down. Brendan Diaz is grounded to short and grounded to the mound as the right-handed hitting third baseman will step in. The Tigers have 3 hits in the game. The B-Diggers have 6, but they trail 2-1 as Brush has committed 3 errors to 1 for Sterling. And the offering. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Rosenbrock ready. And the 1-0. Fastball low. 2-0 to Brendan Diaz. The B-Diggers did not get the lead in the first game until the 5th inning. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball belt high. Ball 2, strike 1. With 1 out in the 5th inning. And the base is empty here in Brush. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on line, foul, a very late swing by Diaz. The count is at 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to the Sterling third baseman. Rosenbrock ready. Wind and pitch. Up and in. Backed him off the plate is 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. Wind and offering. Oh, just a little bit high. Oh, I don't think the B-Digger fans like that one at all. It's a walk. Jacob Thiessen at first. 1 out, 1 on. Thiessen reached on an error and grounded out. He is 0 for 2. The Tigers looking to extend their 2-1 lead here in the 5th inning. Rosenbrock stretches. Steps off, throws to first. Back in diving is Diaz. Stretch by Kyle. Looking back to pause the pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back. No balls and 1 strike. 1 out, 1 on in the 5th inning. Peterson lays down the sign. And the pitch, the runner going. That's a strike. The throw to second is going to be there. The tag and safe. It's a stolen base. Perfect throw by Peterson, but the steal of second base by Brendan Diaz. So a man in scoring position now. With no balls and 2 strikes to Jacob Thiessen. Runner takes the lead. Stretch in the pitch. Fastball is up and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rosenbrock ready. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on a ball diving in the zone. There's 2 down. Yeah, and I believe we'll check the strikeout total there. He's got 2 in the inning. I believe that's 6 in the game now. We'll check it for Rosenbrock. Stretch in the pitch. At check swing, did he go? Looked like he went. They'll check at second. He did not. 1 ball and no strikes to Ty Lucero, who grounded out and singled. Officially 1 for 2. And the offering in the dirt. Looks like Rosenbrock's being very careful with him. Lucero hit a 3-run homer this year off David Mendez, who have and the pitch. A strike. Two balls and 1 strike. And the stretch. And the offering. Swing and a miss. And the count is level at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on line towards center field. That is a base hit. Diaz around third. The throw to the plate is going to be cut off by Tormolen. It's an RBI single by Ty Lucero, and it's 3-1 Sterling. A big base hit. That'll extend the inning.
Now batting center field, number 2, Jay Kyle.
And here's Jay Kyle. Kyle stepping in. The stretch and the runner going. The pitch is taken for a strike. No throw. A huge jump. And it's strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. The stretch and the offering. Fastballs in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Sterling has scored in 3 of the last 4 innings. They've got a 3-1 lead. The stretch by Rosenbrock and the pitch. Swag and a miss through the fastball right by him. Count now sitting at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The stretch and the offering. Breaking ball swung on and missed as Rosenbrock strikes out the side. However, it is a run on a hit, no errors and a man left. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Sterling 3, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Bay Diggers trail the Sterling Tigers by a score of 3-1 in Brush. Big RBI single by Ty Lucero. Jesse McKnight had an RBI single. The second, Daniel Bacon in a fielder's choice scored another run. Alec Peterson will now step in. Peterson has struck out and popped up. He's 0 for 2. The Bay Diggers have out-hit Sterling 6-4, but trail 3-1. There's the wind by Thiessen. The pitch. Fastball is a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Peterson. Laying down the sign is McKnight. The pitch. Fastball outside corner. Strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to the sophomore catcher. This could be the final time around the order for the Bee Diggers if they don't get something going, because we're in the 5th inning. And the offering. Curveball is lined to left field for a base hit, and Thiessen hung an 0-2 curveball for some reason right down the heart of the plate. And Peterson was all over it. Maltos Garcia, now the hitter. Struck out in the first, but then delivered a base hit. In his second at bat, he's 1 for 2. 1 step lead at first for Peterson. The tying run is at the plate with the heart of the order right behind Maltos Garcia. And the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Boy, this is a very well-attended baseball game. Two of the top teams in the Patriot League squaring to bunt, and he lays it down the third baseline, but foul. The count at 1-1. So Peterson retreats to first. Now the Beat Diggers out hitting this team 7-4. Your one-stop center for projects around your home office or yard is Ackley Building Center. And they carry appliances as well. Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. The stretch. And the 1-1 squaring to bunt again, and he pops it foul. And it's 1-2. And now you got to hit away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Arturo Maltos Garcia. Yeah, you see this type of crowd, maybe a little bit more for a playoff game. All the vehicles beyond left field. Nice crowd off to the left as well, up the third baseline. And the 1-2 pitch squaring to bunt, and he lays it out in front of the plate, and it's barehanded by the catcher, the throw to first in time. The sacrifice is successful as McKnight makes the play. That goes 2-3. So that's officially not an at-bat there for Matos. It doesn't affect his average as he advances the base runner, Peterson, to second. Rosenbrock in the game is 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. The stretch. And the offering. Fastball, a strike on the outer half just above the knees. It's 0-1. Yeah, this is what you want. The two best pitchers in your team dueling it out. And they have dueled it out to a 3-1 Sterling lead, though. The Beat Diggers trying to rally in the bottom of the fifth inning. The offering upstairs with a heater. That was the 80th pitch thrown by Thiessen. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 on, 1 out. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and foul back on a fastball up in the zone. The count is at 1-2. When Rosenbrock came up in the fifth inning against Estes Park, the Beat Diggers trailed 3-2. Then hit a 2-run homer for a 4-3 lead. Then did it again in the sixth inning for a 6-3 win. 1 ball and 2 strikes. McKnight lays down the sign. Peterson at second. The stretch. And Thiessen steps off. No pitch. Now the Beat Diggers desperately need a run here. You don't want to go to the 6th down by 2. 1 run, then you feel a lot better, and Thiessen steps off again. Oh, and McKnight makes another trip to the mound. I'm not sure what that's about. Made 2 trips in a row without a pitch. Beat Diggers back in action Monday, 4 o'clock, right here on 1010 and KSIR.com. It's a non-league game in Brush against Resurrection Christian, a team that defeated Brush 10-0 in Loveland a couple of weeks ago. The stretch. And the 1-2. Fastball is high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To Kyle Rosenbrock. McKnight setting up on the outside. And the offering. The breaking ball is in the dirt. Ball 3, strike 2 to Kyle Rosenbrock. Huge pitch coming up in this game with Mitch Tormoen on deck. Peterson takes the lead. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on and fouled at the plate. Might have been a bender on that one. Rosenbrock was not taking chances. Count remains at 3-2 with 1 out, 1 on in the bottom of the fifth inning. Sterling leads Brush 3-1. Now Thiessen began this game throwing smoke with a couple of strikeouts. It'll be a 3-2 pitch. Coming up to Kyle Rosenbrock. Here it is. Swung on and grounded sharply up the middle into center field for a base hit. Peterson is around third, and he's going to stay right there. Boy, Kyle came up with that baseball. The Beat Diggers have their second hit of the inning and their 8th of the game. But they've been unable to convert these into runs for the most part. First and third for Tormollen. Critical part of the game when the Beet Diggers scored that run in the third inning. Tormollen was up there with second and third and nobody out and hit a laser that was caught by the second baseman Wilson, and he stepped on the bag to double up Rosenbrock, who was well off the bag. Prior to that, Tormollen popped out. So he's 0 for 2. You rarely see this. The Beet Diggers have 8 hits, runner going. It's a strike. No throw to second, back to third, and Peterson is there. Beet Diggers now have 2 in scoring position after Rosenbrock steals the bag. No balls and 1 strike. A base hit could tie the game. 3-1 Sterling in the bottom of the 5th inning. There's the wind and pitch. Swung on and chopped foul up the third base side. Now Tormollen's really got to protect. At 0-2. Peterson singled. Maltos Garcia sacrificed. Rosenbrock singled and stole second. So some small ball played by the Beet Diggers. But can they convert it? 0-2 pitch. All the way to the screen, but it ricochets right back to McKnight. No advance at all. That was a Mitch Wild Thing Williams pitch. There's only about 15 feet between the catcher and the backstop. So it's got to almost be stuck in the backstop in order to advance. 1-2. Tormollen digging back in. Wind and pitch. Curveball is grounded sharply to short. Ethan Rose deep, and the hole will set. He'll throw to first. That is offline and late. Tormollen beat it out anyway. Scoring is Peterson on the infield single, and the Beet Diggers draw to within 1. It's 3-2 as Tormollen really got down that line. Good job of Rosenbrock holding up at second. He couldn't really go anywhere. Ryan Hirschfeld will now hit. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI single, which came back in the third inning, the stretch. And the pitch. Fastball is up and away. Beet Diggers have 9 hits in the game and 3 in the inning. Rosenbrock off of second. Tormollen at first. And Rose took his time there fielding that ground ball, and Tormollen was able to beat the rap. 1-0 pitch. Upstairs and inside. 2-0. Well, I set up along the third base side with the fans, and that didn't work too well in terms of offensive productivity, but back at the normal post. Working out well so far, but the Beet Diggers are still looking to grab their first lead of the game. 2-0 to Ryan Hirschfeld. Thiessen gets the sign from McKnight. And the pitch. Swung on and lifted into center field. Jay Kyle is way back. He's still going back, and he reaches out. He cannot make the catch. It's off his glove. Rosenbrock to third. He's going to be sent home, and the ball is going to be late as the ball gets away towards the screen. Kyle nearly had it off his glove for an RBI double from Hirschfeld, and the Beet Diggers have tied the game at 3. I thought he had it for a second as he was going back, but again, having issues with fly balls. And the runners advanced to second and third on the throw. There's Tyler Monday. Monday in the game has hit into a fielder's choice and grounded out. He's 0 for 2. Yeah, when Hirschfeld hit that ball, I thought Kyle was going to catch it. But then he kept going back and then got a glove on it. Looked like he had caught it. And again, that could be scored either way. But because he was still moving and he was not completely underneath that baseball, I've scored it an RBI double. It could go either way. But again, we don't have an official score, so that basically is on me at this point from the Brush perspective. So 4 hits in the inning. The Beet Diggers have tied the game. On the infield single by Mitch Tormollen and the RBI double from Ryan Hirschfeld. 1 out. The go-ahead run at third in Tormollen. And the pitch to Monday. Low. Took something off of that. It's 1-0. Beet Diggers rallied to beat Strasburg 5-3 a couple of Saturdays ago. Rallied to beat Estes Park 6-3. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and popped up in the infield on the right side. A play there for the first baseman. Bacon makes the catch, and there's 2 down in foul territory. Oscar Soto needs a 2-out hit. Soto has doubled and struck out swinging. The Beet Diggers could desperately use a wild pitch here to grab their first lead. Wine and Offering. Swung on. That is laced into deep left field, way back there, and that one is up against the bottom of the fence. Tormolen scores. Around third is Hirschfeld. He will score. It's a 2-run double by Soto. And the Beet Diggers lead in the bottom of the fifth inning 5-3 as they have plated 4 runs. What a nice job of going the other way. That ball was drilled by Soto. There's Mike Gutierrez, 0 for 1, walked and struck out swinging. The stretch. Thiessen delivers. Fastball is off the glove of McKnight. All the way to the screen. Soto to third. No throw. It'll be a pass ball. Oh, the Beet Diggers not only have the lead, have a 2-run advantage with only 6 outs to get now. A team they lost to 9-1 to begin the season. Here's the Wine 1-0 pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, but you know Sterling's not going to go away. They've got some hitters. 2-0. Upstairs again. 3-0. Tormolen, Hirschfeld, and Soto coming through, especially Soto with that 2-out, 2-run double. 3-0 pitch. Fastball, a strike, belt high. It's 3-1. Third is Soto. The Beet Diggers lead 5-3. The pitch. Swung on and chopped slowly towards the shortstop Rose. He's got a charge. He fields. He throws low, and the ball skips by the first baseman. Vacant all the way towards the screen. Headed to second is Gutierrez. Soto scores to slide the tag. Safe! Safe is Gutierrez at second. That'll be an error on Rose. No RBI, and the Beet Diggers now lead the game by a score of 6-3. He might have been able to beat that out. A very tough one. But for now, we'll score an error. On the grounder to Rose at short. Here's Grayson Simmons hitting from the left side. He struck out twice in the game. 5 runs in for the Beet Diggers in the bottom of the fifth inning. Well, no reason to stop right now. You can plate more. Stretch by Thiessen. And the pitch, swing, and fouled off on the check swing to the left. Count is at 0-1. I haven't seen Ryan Kout that happy. No balls, 1 strike. And the offering. Fastball is up and away. Thiessen just threw his 102nd pitch of the game. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on, fouled off to the left. And clearly, it looks like Thiessen is losing a little velocity on that fastball. And the count is at 1-2. Again, you can always follow us pitch by pitch at KSIRsports.com. Stretch by Thiessen. And the 1-2. Fastball is upstairs. Count goes to 2-2. To the G-man, Grayson Simmons. The stretch. The offering. Called strike 3. Fastball on the inner half. And the inning is over. However, the Beet Diggers put together a huge rally. 5 runs on 5 hits, a Sterling error, and 1 left. Let's go to the 6th. A 3-1 deficit is now a 6-3 Brush lead over Sterling on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Ryan Hirschfeld is the new pitcher. Kyle Rosenbrod goes to short now. The Beet Diggers holding a 6-3 lead. And Hirschfeld was very effective in relief of Grayson Simmons in the 6-3 win over Estes Park. He mowed down the Bobcats, throwing 2 perfect innings. And he needs to retire 6 Sterling Tigers for the Bead Diggers to secure their 4th Patriot League victory. Arnoldo Maltos Garcia. Now in center field for the Bead Diggers as well, as Nico Guzman was in there to begin the game.
For the Tigers in the top of the 6th inning.
So here we go.
First baseman.
It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Daniel Bacon, Brent Gilliland, and Jesse McKnight. Bacon with a sacrifice bunt and hit into a fielder's choice. And that fielder's choice did score a run to make it a 2-1 lead in the 4th inning. But let's see if Hirschfeld can mow down Sterling. Airs the wind and pitch. Fastball right there for a strike on the outer half just above the knees. And the count is at 0-1. Peterson lays down the sign. The pitch. Curveball is in the dirt. Count level at 1-1 strike. Accidents or illness can strike at any time, day or night. When they do, every second counts. Fastball is down and away as a level 3 trauma center. Colorado Plains Medical Center is ready to handle any kind of emergency. Colorado Plains Medical Center. Once again, Colorado Plains Medical Center bringing quality care to the community. Wind, 2-1 pitch. Fastball is outside. 3-1 strike. To Daniel Bacon to begin the 6th inning. Rush with a 6-3 lead after trailing 3-1 going into the bottom of the 5th. And the offering, swag, and a miss and a fastball just below the letters. Count is at 3-2. Hirschfeld now operating out of the stretch with the bases empty. The pitch, fastball is just outside. And it's a walk to Daniel Bacon. Let's see if he stays in there to run. He will. Brent Gilliland will now hit. He struck out and popped out. He's 0 for 2. Now there will be a courtesy runner. Looks like Austin Flaherty. So Flaherty to run for Bacon. Bead Diggers at double play depth. And Sterling's done a nice job on a few of these innings, half the innings getting the leadoff man on. And they have scored a run in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th, but the Bead Diggers have prevented the big inning. And these last 6 outs are obviously not going to be easy against a quality opponent. So in steps Gilliland with Flaherty at first. The stretch by Hirschfeld, the pitch. Fastball down the middle for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Yeah, Hirschfeld didn't throw too many pitches in that first game. When he came in for the final 2 innings, most of them were strikes and strikeouts. Step off, just a lob to first. Nothing doing. I'd be surprised if Sterling decides to run here. They are down by 3. And you've got the bottom 3 hitters in the lineup. The stretch. And the offering. Curveball is grounded foul up the third base side. And normally when you have the bottom of the order up, you're actually tempted to run a little bit more, because these are not the run producers that you see once you get to the heart of the order. But you're still down by 3 here late. No balls and 2 strikes. Short lead for Flaherty. Pitch by Hirschfeld. Curveball is laced towards center field. That's going to drop for a base hit on a hanging curve. And Sterling is the tying run coming to the plate. Yeah, that's a huge mistake pitch by Hirschfeld. He just hung it out there. And Jesse McKnight was a terror against Kyle Rosenbrock. Had 2 singles, including the RBI single in the 2nd, which at that time gave Sterling a 1-0 lead. Bead Diggers could use a double play. The stretch by Hirschfeld. And the offering. Fastball on the outer half for a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, you don't need much of a second pitch if you can really locate that fastball in various spots. It works like a different pitch every time. 0-1. Fastball is outside. One ball, 1 strike. With 2 on, nobody out at the top of the 6th inning. And the Bee Diggers lead the Sterling Tigers 6-3. The pitch, curveball, is on the inside corner for a strike. Yeah, that's when you throw that pitch. You don't want to throw it on an 0-2, on a 1-1 where the hitter's not sure what to expect. There's a big pitch. McKnight's had a hot bat. And the 1-2. Curveball is blocked in the dirt. Peterson throws back to second. Rosenbrock with a tag and safe. Back in there is Flaherty. He was well off the bag. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big pitch coming up to Jesse McKnight. Here it is. Fastball is low and away. 3-2. Oh, this is Hirschfeld's game. Rosenbrock is now playing short, and Rosenbrock did his job. Runners take their leads. 3-2. Swing and a miss on a fastball at the letters. There's one down. A big strikeout of Jesse McKnight. That'll bring up Tyson Wilson, the second baseman. Hit into a fielder's choice and then struck out swinging. Hit another grounder up the middle. The inning can be over. A walk and a single to begin the frame. The stretch by Hirschfeld. And the offering in the dirt. Blocked by Peterson, and the ball well off the strike zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, these teams fighting for second place in the Patriot League. The Bee Diggers would improve to 4-1. Sterling would improve to 4-2. Brush up 6-3. Curveball went behind the hitter. Well, 2-0 to the 9th place hitter. Now, Ryan Boyer has been really struggling today. He struck out 3 times, but that was against a different pitcher. He's on deck. 2-0, not even close. 3-0. Peterson will pay a visit to the hill, and Hirschfeld, who had all the control in the world in the game against Estes Park, now is all over the place against Sterling. 3 balls and no strikes. To Tyson Wilson, the right-handed hitting second baseman for Sterling. Let's see if Hirschfeld can somehow come back and retire Wilson. Not going to be easy down in the count. He's squaring to bunt. The pitch, that's a strike. Fastball in the outer half just above the knees. Yeah, might as well challenge him, see what he can do. I mean, high school hitters that are in the 9th spot are there for a reason. They can make contact, but they're not run producers. 3-1. Runners take their leads. The pitch, swung on and fouled back, 3-2 to Tyson Wilson. At second is Austin Flaherty. At first is Brent Gilliland. Now Hirschfeld's thrown 20 pitches, 10 balls, 10 strikes. A big pitch to be delivered by Hirschfeld. The 3-2. A little bit low and away, and it's a walk, and Hirschfeld thought he had strike 3. A walk to Wilson. That'll bring up Ryan Boyer, who struck out 3 times.
Number 3, Ryan Boyer.
Here comes John Hirschfeld Jr. to the mound. Oh, that was so close. Tough pitch to lay off, but Wilson did it, and he benefited from that. So the bases are loaded on 2 walks and a single. And Ryan Boyer just wants to put the ball in play at this point. The conversation breaks up. The Bee Diggers do have a 3-run cushion, 6-3. In the top of the 6th inning as Kyle Rosenbrock went the first 5 innings. But Sterling looking to generate a comeback. So here we go with Boyer, the right-handed hitting left fielder. The stretch by Hirschfeld. And the pitch. Swing and a miss through the fastball right by him. Belt level, it's 0-1. Yeah, this is one of those days for Boyer. He's just not seeing the ball. But one at bat can change that. The stretch. 0-1. Swing and a miss again. Same pitch, same swing, same result. Well, maybe you climbed the ladder a little bit this time. Don't give him anything too juicy. No balls and 2 strikes. Boyer digging in. The pitch. Swung on in line, back to Hirschfeld on a hop. He throws to home, and Peterson's got a step on the plate. He cannot. Sliding in safely is Flaherty, as it was a bad throw by Hirschfeld. The ball barely got away. And it's now 6-4. That's a good call by the home plate umpire. An error on Hirschfeld. That's a very good call. He was safe. Oh, that could have been an easy 1-2-3 double play. And instead it was botched. Oh, no error there. Check that, no RBI, I should say. But he was safe. There's no question about it. I mean, Coach Mark Muniz is out there, but we had a great angle from here. No doubt that he was safe. So it's 6-4 now. There's Brendan Diaz. Grounded out twice and walked. Threw him an 0-2 pitch in the same spot and hit a one-hop liner back to Hirschfeld. He rushed it. Boy, this would be too bad if the Beat Diggers can't hold this lead. Swung on and fouled off to the right. And it's 0-1. Excellent call by the home plate umpire. There was no doubt that Flaherty was safe on the bad throw that should have begun a double play. Instead, it's still only one out and the bases loaded in the sixth inning. The pitch. Swung on and chopped to the shortstop, Rosenbrock. And he drops the ball, flips to second for one. There won't be a double play because the ball was dropped. Another run scores. And it's now 6-5 on the fielder's choice. Would have been tough to turn a double play anyway, but nonetheless, Gilliland scores. And there we go. Runners at the corners for Jacob Thiessen. Reached on an air, grounded out, and struck out. Oh, that could have been the third out if Hirschfeld made that play, but now it's 6-5. The stretch. Step off, just to throw to first. Nothing doing there. Yeah, so this game's going to go down to the wire. Hirschfeld looks in, the stretch. Pitch to Thiessen. Fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. At third is Wilson. At first is Diaz. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on. That ball is laced into left field for a base hit. Wilson scores on the RBI single from Jacob Thiessen, and the game is tied at 6. Advancing to second was Diaz. And Brush has blown a 3-run lead. There's Ty Lucero, grounded out and singled twice. Well, the Beat Diggers are now going to have to generate a little rally in the bottom of the 6th or 7th, depending upon how long this game goes. The stretch by Hirschfeld, a pitch, and the breaking ball is inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Stretch by Hirschfeld, and the pitch. Breaking ball, a strike on the inner half. It's 1-1. Well, the Beat Diggers have nobody but themselves to blame on this one. They had the shot, and they still have a shot, but they had the lead. Curveball is lifted into deep left field, going way back at Simmons. That's a 3-run homer on a hanging curveball by Ty Lucero. It's a 6-run 6th inning. Sterling now leads 9-6, and the Beat Diggers are stunned. Holy Mahungus. Wow. And here comes Jay Kyle. He hung the curveball, and the ball was destroyed. It was 3-1 Sterling going into the bottom of the 5th inning, then 5 runs by the Beat Diggers, and now 6 by Sterling. Who would have seen this coming? There's Jay Kyle. Kyle in the game has reached on an air and struck out twice. The pitch, fastball, a strike down the middle. 0-1. There's no doubt that the key at bat, no doubt, was the line drive hit by Boyer. Should have been a double play. The pitch Swing and a miss on a fastball. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Boy, the Sterling fans all fired up along the first base side. They might be able to steal one here in Brush. No balls and 2 strikes. Wind and pitch. Fastball called strike 3 down the middle. But the damage is done. Sterling scores 6 runs in the inning on 3 hits, 1 beat digger error, and it was a huge error, and the bases were left empty. Ty Lucero gives Sterling a 3-run lead with a 3-run blast. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Sterling 9, Brush 6 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, let's head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Jacob Thiessen now at first, and Ty Lucero is now on the mound as the Tigers lead by a score of 9-6. B-Diggers trail by 2 going into the bottom of the 5th inning. Scored 5 runs for a 3-run lead. Now they've given up 6. Wow, what a game this has been. B-Diggers thought they were headed for an easy, not an easy, but a hard-fought 6-3 win. Now they're 6 outs away from losing. And they have used their 2 best pitchers here. The pitch down the middle for a strike by the right-hander Ty Lucero. Peterson has struck out, popped out, and singled. He's 1 for 3. And the offering. Swung on and popped up in a shallow right center field. A long run for the second baseman, and the ball's going to drop right in front of the right fielder, Flaherty, for a base hit. Yeah, Wilson went out there. Couldn't make the play. Is Arnoldo Maltos Garcia. Can the B-Diggers do it again and generate another rally? Maltos Garcia at 1 for 2. Strike out, a single, and a sac bunt to pitch. Swung on. That ball is popped up in the infield on the right side. Second baseman Wilson is under it, makes the catch, and there's 1 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. That'll bring up Kyle Rosenbrock. B-Diggers down to their final 5 outs. Yeah, Arnoldo saw a fat pitch but got underneath it. Yeah, I'm sure Hirschfeld can hardly believe he gave up 6 runs with the stuff he's got. But he walked 2 hitters and then made a huge error. The pitch in the dirt, skips away from McKnight. Just a few feet behind him. Peterson to second on the wild pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. Now you definitely need a run in this frame. At least a run. 1 ball, no strikes. The stretch. And the pitch to Rosenbrock. Up and in with a fastball. Count is at 2 balls and no strikes. Rosenbrock with a 2-0 count. Peterson with the lead. The pitch down and in with a changeup. 3-0. Tormolen's on deck on this wild game from Brush. The B-Diggers trailing 9-6 in the bottom of the 6th inning after leading 6-3. 3-0, up and in, not even close with a fastball. Rosenbrock walks. Well, you do have 3 power hitters behind him. Tormolen, along with Hirschfeld and Monday. Rosenbrock, a power hitter himself, who homered twice in the opening game against Estes Park. Mitch Tormolen has flied out, lined into a double play, and singled. It was an RBI single. Swung on. That ball is hit deep into left field. Way back towards the track is Boyer. It's gone! A 3-run homer by Mitch Tormolen has tied the game in the bottom of the 6th inning. Holy mahungus. Brush 9, Sterling 9, as he golfed it out of Sunset Baseball Field. What a game. Well, it's too bad that hits don't accumulate more runs because the B-Diggers have out-hit Sterling 13-7. But because of 4 errors to Sterling's 2, we're sitting at a 9-9 game.
Number 20.
And who's up? Ryan Hirschfeld, who has singled twice and doubled. Wow. Looked like there was going to be a pitcher's duel. 2-1 through 4, 3-1 through 4.5. Now the offenses have cranked it wide open here. 9-9. Well, let's see if Hirschfeld can stay perfect. The stretch by Lucero, the pitch. Swung on, driven into deep right center field to his right as the ball is dying out there. And the catch is made for the second out by Austin Flaherty. That ball just died. I mean, the wind picked up and all of a sudden the ball stopped. There's Tyler Monday. Monday, 0 for 3. Hit into a fielder's choice, a ground out and a fly out. This could go down to the 7th inning. The stretch and the offering. Swung on, fouled off to the right. Yeah, my wife was very, very intelligent. Told me earlier today when I said, well, I got to be somewhere late in the afternoon if it's not here. She said, what if the game goes into extra innings? That's some foresight. The pitch. Fastball is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Bead Diggers have scored 8 runs in the last 2 innings. Sterling has scored 7. 9-9 in the 6th. The pitch. Swung on and hit weakly on the ground of the second baseman Wilson. He's got it. Throws to first. We head to inning number 7. And the game is deadlocked at 9. The Bead Diggers get a 3-run homer from Mitch Tormolen in the bottom of the 6th inning. They get 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. We'll head to the 7th in Brush. Deadlocked at 9 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. What a game we've got going on from Brush. The Bead Diggers and Sterling Tigers are deadlocked at 9 as we head to the 7th inning. And Ryan Hirschfeld is now the pitcher of record, even though he struggled mightily, and that's an understatement in the 6th inning. Daniel Bacon, Brent Gilliland, and Jesse McKnight. Bacon with a sac bunt, a fielder's choice, and a walk is 0 for 1. Bead Diggers were down 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, up 6-3, down 9-6, and then Tormolen tied it with a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here actually is Austin Flaherty. He will now hit in Bacon's spot. Flaherty now playing right field. His first at bat of the game. Hopefully that's advantage to the pitcher. All the Bead Diggers have got to do is hold Sterling and then score a run in the bottom of the 7th inning, and they walk away with a huge victory against a top-notch team here out of the Patriot League. Wind and pitch, squaring to bunt, and is taken for a strike on the outside corner with a fastball. Yeah, make this a quick inning. The Bead Diggers also have the bottom of the order coming up in the bottom of the 7th. Wind in the 0-1. Swag, and a miss on a fastball, belt high. It's 0-2. Yeah, well, I was in the stands for the 4 innings. It was a pitcher's duel. Now this is a slugfest. Wind, and the 0-2 pitch. Fastball is up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Hirschfeld did a lot of damage to himself. He walked 2, then he committed a huge error on what should have been a 1-2-3 double play grounder. And the pitch. Curveball called strike 3. And there's 1 down. Right on the inside half of the plate. 1 down for Brent Gilliland. 1 for 3. A strikeout. He popped out, then he singled. I think his single came in an 0-2 pitch in his last at bat against Hirschfeld. Wind and offering. Swung on and foul. Back on the fastball at the letters. It's 0-1. And the Bead Diggers have a lot of winnable games coming up. They're all winnable, but you look at the game yesterday against Eaton, that was going to be tough to win. But you got to get this one first. Curveball is hit deep into left field. Simmons to his right. He's got a play on it. He makes the catch. And there's 2 down as that ball carried a long way. But Simmons puts it away. 2 down for Jesse McKnight. Singled twice, and he struck out in that 6th inning. Looked like Hirschfeld was going to come back with 2 on and nobody out. Struck out McKnight, but then walked a hitter. Then the potentially or the double play that was botched. The fastball is low. It's a potential double play. 1 ball, no strikes. With 2 down and the base is empty. Line by Hirschfeld, the pitch. Swung on, that is grounded up the middle, off the pitcher. Hirschfeld behind the mound's going to have to pick it up. He'll fire to first. In time to retire McKnight. It's a 1-2-3 7th inning. Let's head to the bottom of the 7th inning on a great play by Ryan Hirschfeld. The score, Brush 9, Sterling 9 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. This will be the 3rd pitcher for the Tigers, Jay Kyle. Ty Lucero, who allowed the 3-run homer to Mitch Tormolin, goes to center. It'll be Oscar Soto, Mike Gutierrez, and Grayson Simmons at the bottom of the 9th. And the Beat Diggers score a run in this 9-9 game. They will defeat the Sterling Tigers. This has been a crazy baseball game. The Beat Diggers rallied with 5 in the bottom of the 5th for a 6-3 lead. Sterling stunned Brush with 6 in the 6th for a 9-6 advantage, taking the lead on Ty Lucero's 3-run homer, but Mitch Tormolin came right back with a 3-run blast of his own. So here we go as the right-hander Jay Kyle, Kyle, on the mound for the Sterling Tigers. Played nearly 2 hours of baseball and we scored 18 runs. Soto has doubled twice. Double to center, then double to left. His second double drove in 2 runs, and at the time in the 5th inning gave Brush a 5-3 lead. Well, let's see if he can go the other way. He's got tons of power, and that wind is blowing really towards right field, so it's blowing the ball in. If you hit that on the line, it'll carry towards left, but really not towards right. And Soto's a left-handed hitter, but he loves to go the other way. The pitch swung on and lifted very high towards the center fielder Lucero, trying to spot the ball to his right. It settles under it, makes the catch, and there's 1 down in the 7th. Soto retired on 1 pitch. Mikey Gutierrez has walked, struck out, and reached on an error, which gave Brush a 6-3 lead. Jay Kyle out of the windup. And the pitch. Fastball is low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. To the sophomore second baseman. And the pitch. Fastball down the middle, strike 1. The count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. To Mike Gutierrez. And the offering. Fastball is up and away. Ball 2, strike 1. 13 hits in the game for Brush, 7 for Sterling, but it doesn't matter. The game is tied at 9. 2-1 pitch. Right there. Fastball, belt high in the inner half at strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The base is empty in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kyle kicks and fires. Low and away. 3-2. You know how good of a hitter Peterson is. If he can get up there with a man on, whether there's 1 or 2 out, he could do some damage. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Gutierrez strikes out. For the 5th time today. He was 0 for 3 in the first game with 3 strikeouts. Well, Grayson Simmons has had his issues in this game. 0 for 3. He's fanned 3 times. And we're 1 out away from heading into extra innings. Wind and pitch. Down and in with a fastball. It's 1-0. One ball and no strikes to the G-man. And the pitch. Outside corner. Took something off it. The count is level at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Simmons. Jay Kyle, the right-hander, delivers. Outside. Ball 2, strike 1. Yeah, this is just Baseball at its best. You've had everything in this game. 2-1 pitch, way outside. 3-1 to the left-handed hitting Grayson Simmons. And Peterson's got tons of power. Delivered a grand slam on Thursday in a 16-4 win over Highland, and the ball is flying out towards left, but can Simmons get on base? He's ahead in the count, 3-1. Wind and pitch. That is low and away, and Simmons walks. And he's got some speed over there. You hit something in the gap. Again, you hit it in the gap, preferably towards left center field. And I only say that, well, Lucero shaded over towards left center. But again, the ball seems to be even rolling out there quicker than it is to right center. But we'll see what Peterson can do. In the game, Peterson is 2 for 4. Struck out swinging, popped out single twice. Fastball outside corner, strike one at the knees. Yeah, don't want to swing at that one. That's going to be tough to even put a bat on. 0-1 to Peterson. Simmons with a one-step lead at first. The pitch in the dirt, and it skips all the way through the legs of McKnight to the screen. And to second is Simmons on the wild pitch. Well, a base hit to the outfield could win the game for Brush. The Bead Diggers and Sterling Tigers deadlocked at 9. Simmons to second off that wild pitch. How many times have the Bead Diggers won a game in their final at bat throughout the years? 1-1 pitch in the dirt and blocked that time by McKnight. 2-1. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Simmons with a big lead at second. The stretch by Kyle. And looks back. The pitch. Strike. Fastball on the outer half, knee high, and it's 2-2. Again, not a pitch that Peterson really liked. It's down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Simmons off of second. And the pitch. Curveball is grounded slowly foul down the third baseline. Peterson did everything he could just to get a bat on it. And I got to tell you, I've seen so many times in baseball where a hitter takes a swing, barely gets a piece, then gets a pitch he really likes and delivers, gets a base hit, and in this case that would win the game. Let's see if Peterson can do it. 2-2 pitch, low. With a fastball, it's 3-2. Well, nail-biting time at Sunset Baseball Field. 9-9 with 2 down and 1 on. At second base, the stretch. 3-2 by Kyle. Swung on, that ball is grounded deep in the hole at short. Rose is going to throw it long to first in time. Excellent play by Rose. Peterson is out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We head to the 8th inning. Brush 9, Sterling 9 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Ryan Hirschfeld begins the 8th inning for the Bead Diggers. Deadlocked at 9 in Brush against the Sterling Tigers. Oh, what a game. The Bead Diggers threatened there in the bottom of the 7th inning. Did not score. Hirschfeld retired the side in order, but now has to contend with the 9-1 and 2 hitters, Tyson Wilson, Ryan Boyer, and Brendan Diaz. Here in the 8th inning, first extra inning game of the year for the Bead Diggers. Stop, shop, and save with all of your grocery needs and snacks for game time enjoyment. Brush Grocery Cart, 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. Well, if we didn't play a lot of baseball during the bad weather, we're doing it today. Had Peterson hit that ball a little bit more to the right of the shortstop, we might be going home. But Ethan Rose made the play. And the game continues here for Tyson Wilson. A fielder's choice, a strikeout, and a walk. Well, the Rockies coming up at the bottom of the hour. For Rockies on deck in Arizona against the Diamondbacks, we thought we would have been long done by now, but that's not the case. Hirschfeld ready. Here's the wind and pitch. Fastball is low. 1 ball and no strikes. And the 1-0 offering. Swag and a miss, and the count is level at 1-1 to Tyson Wilson. Peterson lays down the sign, the offering. Fastball is up and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Low with a fastball. 3-1 to Wilson. Oh, that walk really hurt Hirschfeld and it was on Wilson. Part of that 6-run 6th inning for Sterling. 3-1 offering. Well, not even close. Down and away. And you walk the leadoff hitter here in the 8th inning, the 9th place hitter in the lineup. Ryan Boyer's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and a fielder's choice. However, we will have Darren Sanders stepping in. Hitting from the right side. Oh, we'll see what happens here with Sanders about to hit. 9 runs for Brush on 13 hits, 4 errors, 7 left on base, 9 runs, 7 hits for Sterling, 2 errors, and they have stranded 5. So Sanders off the bench.
Number 34, Darren Sanders.
Well, you send in a pinch hitter, it might be to bunt the runner over, and then you've got the heart of the order coming up. It's a big lead for Wilson, about 2.5 steps at first. Stretched by Hirschfeld. Step off throw to first, nothing doing. You missed anything that happened in this game, just follow us right now, pitch by pitch live at KSIRsports.com. Click on this game. You can follow the pitch by pitch account, the stretch. And Hirschfeld throws back to first, back in diving. Is Wilson. Sanders back in the box. The stretch. Throw back to first again. Well, they want to make sure he doesn't take off for second, that's for sure. Let's see if Hirschfeld delivers a pitch to Sanders. The lead is even shorter, about a step now. The pitch squaring to bunt, and it's laid down the first base side. Hirschfeld has it. He'll fire to second for 1. Back to first, and that is late. The fielder's choice goes 1-6 as the B-Diggers eliminate the man at second. That'll bring up Brendan Diaz. Yeah, that bunt was a little bit too hard by Sanders. Diaz has grounded out twice, walked, and hit into a fielder's choice. He's 0 for 3. And we'll have a courtesy runner for Sanders at first as well. And that's Ryan Boyer. He will run it first. So even though he was supposed to hit in that slot, he's back in there running. The stretch. And throw back to first. Close play. But back in safely is Boyer. Throw back to first again. Boy, a lot of pickoff attempts here by Hirschfeld. Well, it certainly did help him because Wilson shortened the lead, and then he was forced at second on the bunt by Sanders. The stretch. And the offering. Fastball swing and a miss above the letters. It's 0-1. I guess I was destined to do a lot of baseball this weekend. Did a 2-hour and 57-minute game yesterday in Fort Lupton where the Mustangs beat the Blue Devils. Fort Morgan moved to 17-0. That was a 20-9 game. This is at 2 hours and 12 minutes, but this is in the 8th inning. And the pitch. And that bounces in all the way to the screen. And on the wild pitch, Boyer to second. Well, that in effect accomplishes what Sterling wanted to do anyway. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Tied at 9. In the top of the 8th inning. And Brendan Diaz looking for his first hit of the game at the plate. Stretched by Hirschfeld. The look back to pitch. Swung on and grounded right side for a base hit. Soto's going to field it in right field. Runner being sent around third. The throw through to the plate. Tormolen tossed to Peterson to tag. Out at the plate is Ryan Boyer. 9-3-2. And there's 2 down. An outstanding play by 3 Beat Diggers. And Tormolen had to cut that off, then underhanded the ball to Peterson. Jacob Thiessen had an RBI single amongst his 4 at-bats. He's reached on an air, grounded out, and struck out. Officially 1 for 4. And Hirschfeld does not have his ace stuff here, but he's battling. The stretch. Throw back to first. Back and diving is Diaz. Hirschfeld gets the sign from Peterson to stretch. And the offering swung on. That ball is lifted very high into center field. Matos Garcia trying to range under it. Comes in and squeezes it with 2 hands. And the inning is over. Well, Sterling nearly scored, but the Beat Diggers cut down Ryan Boyer at the plate. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. Let's head to the bottom of the 8th inning after the break. It's Sterling 9, Brush 9 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll have the Rockies and Diamondbacks at the bottom of the hour. Let's see if we'll still have baseball from here in Brush. For that to happen, the Sterling Tigers would have to send the game to the 9th. 2, 3, and 4 for Brush against Jay Kyle. Arnoldo Matos Garcia struck out looking, singled, a sac bunt, and a pop-out. He's 1 for 3. Yeah, what a game. Oh. There we go. The first pitch at the bottom of the 8th inning to Matos Garcia from Kyle. Swung on and lifted into shallow left center field. A long run to Boyer, and he makes the catch. Not sure if that was Boyer or that's somebody in there for him. Either way, there's 1 down. 1 down on the pop-up to left center. And there's Kyle Rosenbrock. Perfect on the day. 3 singles and a walk. Boy, would this be storybook if he ends the game with a home run. He had 2 in the first game. The pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. You give him something fat and we're going home. Kyle ready. The 1-0. Swung on and grounded to short. To his left is Rose. In the hole. He throws to first, and that is out number 2. As Rosenbrock is retired. 2 down for Mitch Tormolen.
First baseman, number 25, Mitch Tormolen.
Tormolen with a pop-out, a line drive into a double play, an infield RBI single, and a 3-run homer to tie the game at 9 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And he will now bat for Brush. His homer came off the second Sterling pitcher, Ty Lucero. Oh, this amounts to like another start here for Hirschfeld, considering how much he's pitched the pitch. Down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Tormolen ready, back in the box. 1-0 pitch. A little bit low and away. With the off-speed pitch, it's 2-0. Tormolen's 3-run homer was essentially a golf shot, a ball down in the zone, and he just Tiger Woods'd it. 2-0 pitch. Woo! Nearly hit him. 3-0. Ryan Hirschfeld swung the bat very well today. He waits to hit next. 3 balls and no strikes to the senior first baseman, Mitch Tormolen. Wine and offering. Up and in again, and he walks. Well, that's the same thing that happened in the 7th inning. Kyle retired the first 2. Then he walked Grayson Simmons, who was stranded at second when Alec Peterson grounded a short. Hirschfeld with a couple of singles, a double, and he's popped out. That single in the 3rd inning drove in Brush's first run. And actually, it was his second single that drove in a run. The stretch and the offering. Down and in. Took something off of that. It's 1-0. The Bee Diggers and Sterling Tigers deadlocked at 9. In the bottom of the 8th inning, 13 hits for Brush, 8 for Sterling. Tormolen with a one-step lead. The pitch. Up and away. It's 2-0. Now the question is, will Hirschfeld pitch another inning? It would be his 4th if he comes out for the 9th. But maybe he can take care of matters himself offensively. 2-0. Swung on and driven way foul. Oh, that was hit a mile deep, but he was way out in front. 2 balls and 1 strike. To Ryan Hirschfeld with 2 down and 1 on. In the bottom of the 8th inning in Brush. 1-step lead, the stretch. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball at the letters. It's 2-2. Either way, these teams, both of these will be a threat in the postseason once we get to the district tournament, which will be 2 weeks from today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the left, and that one is headed out of play, that is. Third baseman Brendan Diaz gives chase. Count remains at 2-2. Mitch Tormolen was issued a 2-out walk. So here we go with Hirschfeld, looking for something fat. Tormolen's got some pretty good speed. Anything in the gap could score him. The stretch. The pitch. Swung on and driven deep into right field. Going way back is Flaherty towards the track. He's under it, makes the catch, and we go to the 9th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. With the score, Brush 9, Sterling 9 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We head to the 9th inning. The Bee Diggers and Sterling Tigers are tied at 9, and Ryan Hirschfeld begins his 4th inning of work. Now he has shut out the Tigers each of the last 2 innings after giving up 6 runs in the 6th. A classic baseball game from Sunset Baseball Field on a perfect afternoon, which might turn into an early evening. Here comes trouble. Ty Lucero is 3 for 4, 2 singles, and a 3-run blast in the 6th inning. That gave Sterling a 9-6 lead. The Bee Diggers sticking with Hirschfeld, who's thrown 52 pitches in a game. Well, neither Rosenbrock or Hirschfeld will more than likely go until Thursday. Curveball is swung on and lifted to center. A routine play for Matos Garcia. Goes back a few steps and makes the catch, and there's 1 down. Well, that's a sigh of relief to get Lucero out, who's now 3 for 5 in the game.
Number 2, Jay Kyle.
Jay Kyle reached on an error, then struck out 3 times. Yeah, what Hirschfeld has done over the last 2 1/3 innings, this is what he's capable of. Unfortunately, he had that lapse in the 6th. Wind and pitch squaring to bunt, and it pops it up, and it's fielded on a couple of hops by Hirschfeld. He fires to first in time, and Kyle is out number 2.
Now batting number 4.
Oh, what a luxury when you can get 2 outs on 2 pitches. Austin Flaherty struck out looking in his first at bat. We are in the 9th inning, deadlocked at 9. There's the wind and the offering. Swing and a miss on a fastball right over the heart of the plate. It's 0-1. Look to the team at Valley View for rehab, short-term, or long-term care needs. 815 Fremont, Valley View Villa, 867-8261. The pitch, and the curveball is just inside. Count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. The wind and pitch up and away. 2-1 to Austin Flaherty. Well, I got to calculate how many pitches we've thrown in this game. 2-1 with 2 outs and the bases empty here at the top of the 9th inning. Wine and Offering. Swung on and fouled off to the right. This was supposed to be a 2 o'clock start. Began just shy of 3. And now we're at the 2 hour and 25 minute mark here in the 9th. Here's the Wine by Ryan Hirschfeld, and the 2-2 pitch to Flaherty. Well, he won't make it. Time is called. Yeah, Jacob Thiessen gave up a lot of hits for Sterling, but he was the pitcher of record before the Bead Diggers came back. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss and a fastball above the letters. A 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Hirschfeld. We head to the bottom of the 9th in Brush. The Bead Diggers 2. Check that, 9. 2. The Bead Diggers 9, the Sterling Tigers 9 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back at Sunset Baseball Field in Brush. We're deadlocked at 9 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Keep in mind, high school baseball is 7 innings. So this is the second extra inning in this game. Tyler Monday, who has home run power, but is 0 for 4. With a couple of ground outs, a fielder's choice, and a pop out, will step to the plate. Monday, Soto, and Mike Gutierrez against right-hander Jay Keel, who's been tremendous through 2 innings. McKnight lays down the sign, and the pitch. Fastball rides inside. The Bead Diggers had Grayson Simmons on second base, and he did not score. Brendan Diaz had a base hit, but Boyer was cut down at the plate trying to score in the 8th inning. That's Ryan Boyer. Fouled off down the third baseline. It's 1-1. I don't ever remember doing a game that went beyond 9 innings for the Bead Diggers. Wine in the pitch. Swung on and grounded a short. Rose has got it on the third hop. Sets, throws. 1 down in the 9th. Sun's about to disappear. Oscar Soto has doubled, struck out swinging, doubled again, driving in 2 runs and popped out. As soon as this game is over, we'll take you to Arizona for Rockies on deck with Jack Corrigan and Jerry Schimmel, third of a 4-game set between the Rockies and Diamondbacks. That'll be, of course, on 1010 only. We don't do any live streaming of Major League Baseball. That is not part of the coverage, only the high school events. Oscar Soto officially at 2 for 4. And the pitch. And the breaking ball is up and away. And you see this so many times in baseball where you have a ton of runs scored, and then you get to the extra innings, and the pitchers start dominating. That's what we have right now. Soto back in. Wine in the 1-0. Change up, a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Yeah, there was a reason that Kyle got put into this game in the 7th inning after Lucero could not hold the lead. The Offering way outside with a fastball. It's 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. To the left-handed hitting right fielder. The pitch swung on and lifted into deep left field to his left and settling under it and making the catch for the second out. And again, I'm not sure if that's Boyer out there. We'll have to check that number. Either way, there's 2 down.
Now adding second baseman, number 16, Mikey.
That'll bring up the sophomore Mikey Gutierrez, who has walked, struck out, swinging, reached on an error, scoring a run, and struck out again. He's had a really rough day. 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts. But that's part of being a young player. Here's the Wine and pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right. It's 0-1. Yeah, who would the Bead Diggers throw next if this game goes into maybe the 11th inning? Hirschfeld, I think, would stay in there in the 10th. Here's the Wine and Offering. Low. Count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. To Mikey Gutierrez. With the bases empty and 2 down. The pitch in the dirt. Ball 2, strike 1. The Bead Diggers can get a base runner. Who knows what will happen? 2 balls and 1 strike. To Gutierrez. Here's the wind and pitch. Swing and a miss, and a ball down in the zone. It's 2-2. What a game. Wow, what a game. Even though Kyle looks like he's been in control, he's thrown only 21 strikes and 22 balls, and yet Bee Diggers cannot solve him at all. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded up the middle, headed for center field. The second baseman, Wilson, trying to backhand it, cannot. And it's a base hit for Mike Gutierrez, right up the gut. And the Bee Diggers have a 2-out base runner. And for Brush, it's their 14th hit of the game, and the first for Gutierrez in a doubleheader. Here's Grayson Simmons, who struck out 3 times and walked. Officially 0 for 3. You got to think about Gutierrez running. He is fast. And if the G-Man can find a hole, then we would not go to the 10th inning. Kyle gets a sign from Jesse McKnight. 3-step lead. The pitch. Fastball, a strike on the outside corner. Well, the umpires certainly earning their money today. They worked 7 innings, then 5 innings, now 9 innings. So this is the 21st inning. Same crew for 3 games. Step off. But I tell you what, I mean, this is a biblical day in Brush. The temperature's in the 70s, a slight wind. Sun has slightly disappeared. There's maybe partially coming through, and that is outside and low on the changeup. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Brush 9, Sterling 9 in the bottom of the 9th inning in Brush. Gutierrez at first. The left-handed hitting Simmons awaits. Kyle with a long pause to pitch. Swung on and lifted toward center field. The second baseman, though, Wilson, 2 steps into the grass on the soft liner, makes the catch. The inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. We're going to head to the 10th inning in Brush. The Bee Diggers 9, the Sterling Tigers 9 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Well, we go to the 3rd extra inning. We're in the 10th in Brush. The Bee Diggers and Sterling Tigers deadlocked at 9. It'll be Brent Gilliland to lead off. He has struck out, popped out, singled, and popped out. He drove in a run. Officially at 1 for 4, and Ryan Hirschfeld will throw his 60th pitch. He's thrown 3 consecutive shutout innings after allowing 6 runs in relief in the 6th. Wind and pitch. Swung on and chopped on the right side towards the second baseman, Gutierrez, who charges, throws to first, and that's in time. And Gilliland is out number 1. And he is now 1 for 5 in the game. Jesse McKnight had an RBI single in the 2nd inning to make it 1-0. That was about a week ago. He singled, struck out, and grounded out. 2 for 4. Righty against righty, the pitch. Swung on and chopped slowly on the left side. The third baseman, Monday's got it. Throws on the run, a little bit high. The tag is applied by Tormolen. And out is McKnight. And Monday's not too happy with himself. He's made some very errant throws here. He's already committed 2 errors in the game. And nearly a third. But he made the play, and Tormolen helped him out. That'll bring up Tyson Wilson, a fielder's choice, a strikeout. And he's been issued 2 walks as well. Wind by Hirschfeld, the pitch. Fastball. Boy, a little bit low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. We are in the 10th inning in Brush. The Bee Diggers 9, the Sterling Tigers 9, the pitch. Swung on and popped up on the right side and out of play. The count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. We hope to get you to the first pitch for the Rockies tonight at 6:10. Rockies on deck is ongoing. And the wind and the 1-1. Fastball is up and in. 2-1. And keep in mind, Hirschfeld threw 2 innings against Estes Park. Stretching a pitch. Fastball outside corner, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, nobody will ever forget this game. This is a classic. And the 2-2. Up and in with a fastball. 3-2 to Tyson Wilson, officially 0 for 2 in the game. Well, you don't want to walk the 9-hitter 3 times in a row. Let's see what happens here. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and grounded to second. And Gutierrez has it on a tricky hop. Sidearms to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Let's head to the bottom of the 10th in Brush. The Beet Diggers 9. The Sterling Tigers 9. You're listening to Brush Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and on the World Wide Web at KSIR.com. All right, enough of this nonsense. Let's get it done. The Beet Diggers head to the bottom of the 10th inning, deadlocked at 9. I mean, it's been a great game, but Brush is the home team. You have the opportunity here to put it away. Alec Peterson will be the opening hitter, followed by Arnoldo Maltos Garcia and Kyle Rosenbrock, unless Peterson can kiss one. The pitch. Pitch is upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. A strikeout, a pop-up, 2 singles, and a groundout. Peterson is 2 for 5 in this game. Jay Kyle beginning his 5th inning of work. The pitch. Swung on and fouled back, and the count is level at 1-1. Yeah, the biggest threat came from Sterling in the 8th inning. With Ryan Boyer at second, Brendan Diaz single to right. Oscar Soto threw to Mitch Tormolen, the cutoff man who underhanded it to Alec Peterson. And Boyer was cut down at the plate. 1-1 pitch. Outside. Took something off it. It's 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Both teams won earlier today against Estes Park. The Beet Diggers won 6-3 and Sterling won 20-0. The pitch down and away. 3-1. And if Peterson gets on, he's very fast. And Maltos plays small ball very well. Maltos Garcia has already got a sacrifice bunt in this game. Then you bring up Rosenbrock and Tormolen. 3-1 to Peterson. The pitch swung on and grounded to short. And Rose cannot play it. He bobbled the baseball off the heel of his glove. And Peterson is safe at first. That is a humongous error in the game. And that is the 3rd for Sterling. Here's Arnoldo Maltos Garcia, as the error was committed by Ethan Rose. Ball is Maltos Garcia going to bunt. The stretch and pitch squaring to bunt, and he lays it down right out in front of the plate. The ball's going to be picked up by the pitcher. Throw to first in time as Kyle retires Maltos Garcia. But another successful sacrifice by the freshman. Boy, he is good. To do that, that is not easy at all. To second is Peterson. And here's Rosenbrock. 3 singles, a walk, and a ground out. He's 3 for 4. Yeah, I think they're going to put him on base. Yeah, the intentional walk.
That's the smart play right there.
So Rosenbrock at first. And again, it's the stupidest high school rule. It's ridiculous. In fact, it's embarrassing, where you can issue an intentional walk without actually throwing a pitch. I mean, whoever created that rule has got to have his head examined. I'm sorry. And you should be required to throw 4 pitches. This is not senior softball. Here's Mitch Tormolen, who was 2 for 4, a single and a 3-run homer. The pitch down in the zone with a fastball. It's 1-0. Yeah, you got to force the pitcher to throw 4 pitches, whether it's intentional or not. Runners take their leads. And the 1-0. And the breaking ball is down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. We're tied at 9 in the bottom of the 10th inning from Brush between the Beet Diggers and Sterling Tigers. Peterson at second, reached on an air. Rosenbrock at first. Jay Kyle with a 2-0 pitch. Swung on and chopped foul up the third base side. Jan moves to 2-1. Again, we'll take you to Rockies on Deck coming up momentarily. We'll join pregame in progress if the Beet Diggers can put it away right now. Peterson off of second. Rosenbrock at first. The stretch. And Tormolen awaits the 2-1. Could this be the final pitch? Well, we'll find out in a couple of moments because time is cold. We have played 2 hours and 44 minutes. Runners take their leads. The stretch. And Tormolen awaits, and he calls time again. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Tormolen has 4 RBIs already in the game. How about 5? The stretch. Jay Kyle with a long pause. And the pitch. And that is low. 3-1. On deck is Ryan Hirschfeld. 3 balls and 1 strike to Tormolen. Peterson off of second. Rosenbrock at first in the bottom of the 10th inning. And the pitch swung on and fouled to the screen. 3-2. Yeah, if this doesn't get these teams in a rhythm moving forward, nothing will. Every pitch has been so important in this game. Most thought we would have been out of here about an hour and a half ago. The 3-2 pitch to Tormolen from Jay Kyle. Here it is. Swung on, grounded foul up the third base side. Count remains at 3-2. Sterling led 1-0 after an inning and a half. Tied at 1 in the third. 2-1 Sterling in the fourth. 3-1 after 4.5. 6-3 Brush. Then 9-6 Sterling. Now 9-9 since the 6th inning. The payoff pitch. Here it is. Called strike 3. Fastball at the knees. Tormolen can't believe it. There's 2 down. He thought he had ball 4. It'll bring up Ryan Hirschfeld. Wow, that is a huge pitch thrown by Kyle. And Tormolen throws his helmet. I mean, he never expresses that type of emotion. He's usually very composed. Well, let's see what Hirschfeld can do. He is 3 for 5 in the game. The stretch and the pitch, and the breaking ball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 singles, a double, and 2 pop-outs for Ryan Hirschfeld. Peterson at second, Rosenbrock at first. And the 1-0. Down and in. 2-0. He's got to find something good now. 2 balls and no strikes. The stretch by Jay Kyle. And the pitch. Down and in. Took something off it. 3 balls and no strikes. In the bottom of the 10th inning, the Beat Diggers and Sterling Tigers deadlocked at 9. Peterson at second. Rosenbrock at first with 2 down. Hirschfeld awaits a 3-0. Swung on and driven into the left center field gap. That's going to win the game. The ball takes 1 hop up against the fence. Peterson rounds third. And the Beat Diggers win the game in 10 innings. 10-9. Holy mahungus. As they rally from a 9-6 deficit, Hirschfeld takes a 3-0 pitch and deposits the ball into the left center field gap. And the Beat Diggers have won the game 10-9. How about a 2-minute break? And we'll wrap it up after this on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Welcome to the Beat Digger post-game show, brought to you by Buildings by Design and Brush, which takes pride in their workmanship and quality of their relationships with clients. For a free bid, call Pat Walter, 842-5837. Building today's business, Buildings by Design. The Brush Beat Diggers have defeated the Sterling Tigers in 10 innings, 10-9, 10 runs, 15 hits, 4 errors, 11 left on base for Brush. 9 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors, 6 left on base for Sterling. The winning pitcher in relief was Ryan Hirschfeld, and the loss went to Jay Kyle. Time of the game, 2 hours and 48 minutes. What a classic. Ryan Hirschfeld drove in the first run and drove in the last run with his 4th hit of the game. Jesse McKnight gave Sterling a 1-0 lead with an RBI single in the second, and Hirschfeld countered. Then Sterling scored single runs in the 4th and 5th innings for a 3-1 lead. And then the Beat Diggers put together a 5-run 5th inning as they got a big 2-run double in that frame from Oscar Soto to go up 6-3. But then Sterling scored 6 runs in the top of the 6th inning for a 9-6 lead as Ty Lucero delivered a 3-run homer with a game tied at 6. But then Mitch Tormolen in the bottom of the 6th inning with a 3-run homer deadlocked the game at 9. Neither team scored in the 7th, 8th, or 9th innings, although Brendan Diaz in the 8th inning delivered a base hit to right field. And Ryan Boyer was cut down at the plate on throws from Oscar Soto and Mitch Tormolen to the catcher Alec Peterson. And then with 2 out and 2 on a 3-0 pitch A big hit, a single from Ryan Hirschfeld, and the Bee Diggers win the game 10-9. And in the game, as I mentioned, Hirschfeld had 4 hits. Kyle Rosenbrock had 3 hits for the Bee Diggers. Mitch Tormolen drove in 4 with that 3-run homer. Hirschfeld, by the way, with his 3rd RBI after that hit. And as I mentioned, Oscar Soto with a 2-run double. The Bee Diggers now move to 4-1 in Patriot League play, and they are 8-5 overall. Sterling is now 3-3 in league play, and on the season they are now sitting at 8-5. That's the Sterling record, 8-5 after playing their 13th game of the year. Bee Diggers are back in action for a non-league game coming up on Monday at 4 o'clock. They'll take on Resurrection Christian right here from Sunset Baseball Field and Brush. Sound engineer and producer of Brush Bee Digger Baseball, a long day, has been Rose Condas. I'm John Beltran. The final score on a Saturday afternoon in Brush. The Bee Diggers do defeat Estes Park earlier today, 6-3. Then Sterling beat Estes 20-0. But in the finale of this tripleheader, the Bee Diggers in 10 innings defeat Sterling 10-9. Rockies on deck. In progress is next, right here on 1010 KSIR. And you've been listening to Brush Bee Digger Baseball as well on KSIR.com.